Hospital owner Tenet Healthcare has named Denton Clark as CEO, replacing Carolyn Jackson as leader of the facility. Clark will also be taking over as CEO of Tenet's Massachusetts market. He comes to St. Vincent from Community Health Systems, where he held leadership roles that included market CEO.
In sports, Team USA getting ready to play Team Canada again in that Four Nations Face-Off Championship game. That's tomorrow night. The Bruins announcing in a statement, defenseman Charlie McAvoy admitted to Mass General this week for an upper body injury. He won't play. Bruins are back to work hosting Anaheim Saturday night. Celtics return from the All-Star break tomorrow night in Philly. From the WTAG Newsroom, I'm Jay Corwin.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Not all kids with crooked teeth can afford braces. Luckily, there's donated orthodontic services from the American Association of Orthodontists. Kids who qualify can be matched with a volunteer orthodontist. Visit aaoinfo.org.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
From the WTAG Price Chopper Market 32 Traffic Center.
Right now, you're just looking at some heavy traffic in Auburn on Route 20 westbound between Elm Street and Route 169 Southbridge Road. And then in Worcester, 290 westbound, a little heavy traffic between 190 and Route 122 Grafton Street. From the Price Chopper Market 32 Traffic Center, I'm Zach Transport.
If you see something out there, call the WTAG Traffic Hotline. 1-866-999-7200.
Looking for affordable blinds, shades, or shutters for your home? Don't hire an expensive pro. Check out Blindster.com, where we offer custom-made window coverings at guaranteed low prices with a team of pros ready to help you every step of the way. Blindster.com.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio. The forecast from the Al's Oil of Shrewsbury Weather Center.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is meteorologist Tom Bavak. We'll have a fair amount of sunshine this afternoon. There'll be some clouds. Our high temperatures will be in the mid-20s. For tonight, we can expect clear to partly cloudy skies. We're back into the teens. And for tomorrow, lots of sunshine, near 30 degrees. And you can get your weather all day long on WTAG.
Tom, I just got your message this afternoon concerning the news, of which the standard of, how do you call the immigration system for citizenship must be reviewed. I think if really it's going to be reviewed, then we should look at it from the angle of how people get their citizenship in America. You see, do you think it is based on merit or what you can do for America, as President Kennedy once said? Always ask what you can do for your country, but don't ask what your country can do for you. He was talking to the immigrants. They say, actually, the citizens are in. The citizens knows that they are not their upkeeping is not honored by the government unless they go through hardship or in terms of disaster, emergency, or temporary, being late from work. It means all sundry people within the country work to survive, to pay their bills, and pay into the pension system until they go on retirement. So when President Kennedy was giving that explanation, he was telling the immigrants at the Kennedy Center that always ask what you can do for your country, but do not ask what your country can do for you. That makes you American. Okay. President Trump today wants to reform the basis of getting citizenship in America. And then I agree with him because sometimes when you look at it, some people are being pushed by the law or the system that has been designed to get a citizenship in America. Either you get yourself married to any obese who's seriously looking for a husband, and you got to do it to get your citizenship. And immediately after their citizenship, the divorce. The men are gone. How many of them are staying with their obese wife or husband? They're gone. Long time, they go all they want. But if it is based upon what you can do for your country, nobody will force himself under any forced marriage or an abusive marriage. And some of the women, they go through a big abuse. You see, it penetrate them even through their nose, anywhere there is hole. And the men too, are the same. Huh? Some of them, most of them, every financial bills concerning their families on you. Sometimes you have to go for grocery and supply the family members. Or anything is assigned to you. You see? So many forms of abuse. You see? The lucky ones are those who get people they help them freely. And they get it faster. And most of them too cannot see the opportunity given them. All that they got to do is to discipline themselves. And then you see them succeeding. But they rather abuse themselves. And because they got it easy, they just let things slip by their hands, living in the land of opportunity. You see, where those who could even afford to buy bicycles in their nations are now driving cars. And it's not used cars, brand new cars, yes. To them, some of them, that's the goal. To see that I'm driving a vehicle in America, or I'm driving a vehicle in America. Or anytime I come back home, I'll see myself driving a vehicle because I've been to America. That is the reason most of them are here. Or maybe the reason, you see. But how many of these countries did even know that there is a special program that was created right from the foundation of Kennedy, President Kennedy, USAID. It was created from Kennedy's time up to today. That America has been giving support to African nations that practice a good democracy. You see, democracy. In some democracies are not even practicing, but they still give them support. You see, for all this support that they've been giving them, they have not been able to fix the country. And they turn around again and borrow money, monetary assistance from IMF or anywhere. Now they think they can borrow money from. See? If not because of President Trump, I wouldn't even know. I got this information. I said, for all this monetary USAID money alone could furnish the infrastructure There are tiny countries like Togo, Ghana, and all those tiny countries within Africa could have even fixed their infrastructures. That monetary assistance that he is talking, so where is the money going to? You think those who are even calling for, we want to see the censorship in Africa, their foundation, before they entered into politics, right from graduation from universities, that they entered into politics. How much money was in their account? If we can censor, if we want to vet, we can vet people from that starting point, and how you came about, maybe running politics and you became a millionaire. What were you doing? Huh? And how many of them, without having had chances and giving privileges to their brothers, uncles, any family member, just to excel in their life for their own benefit, except those, the wicked ones. Because if I have a position in government and there is somebody that needs help and to occupy such a position, and a person of mine, also a person that I know, also has the same qualification, has the same thing, anything that he qualifies for, I'll surely give it to somebody that I know and know his character than somebody I don't know and that don't know his character. Unless he doesn't qualify or we don't get any qualified person occupying the position. I mean, give it to anybody. I think within a workplace, when there's going to be vacant position, people working there, they don't know. They know. And so, first of all, they discuss someone. Do you know somebody who can occupy this position? Because we don't want this position to be vacant for a very long time before we get somebody to replace it. So if you know somebody and you know him and you know the character is good, you don't care giving the person's appointment. But we'll be watching you, you see. We'll be watching you, that we won't tell. All right? These are some of the informations that we need. It's not just a information that you're getting rich. You people, you're getting rich. So, no. It's not just witch hunting. But the purpose of which those money were given for, were you able to use that money to achieve those purposes? Or if USAID support that it gives to countries are just handout, then it will be good. It will be practicing politics elsewhere. You see, you give the information to somebody to represent you over there, so that at least you'll be getting some tippings from the tips. I will know the same people who are encouraging tips. So somebody serving me in a restaurant need to be tipped. What about if I go to a code office and I need something and the secretary over there speedily assisted me and then I tip that person? Is it corruption? That's not corruption. That's tips. It's a tip. You see? Because there are no tips. There are no tips. And that is the reason why government workers, they get poorer and poorer and poorer. You think if you're a government worker, it means you should work there forever and go on retirement You see? Being honest. That you don't touch Uncle Sam's money. But if somebody giving a tip, they say, no. Nobody is supposed to give tips. Who says so? Is it written in the Bible? But if it is written, if it is not written, but you encourage that everybody who is in a restaurant, are they not the same workers? You're supposed to give a tip, and you must give a tip because he's eating. Huh? Paperwork doesn't need tips. Paperwork doesn't need tips. You know how many of the elderly, especially the elderly, who weren't born in the computer system, struggle to compute things with the computer, of which babies find it so easily to do? Because those elderly people at their time, there were no computers. Computers recently came to existence. You see, we started calculation, working algebra with pen, writing pen, and writing, how do you call it, numbers on top of the paper and adding them and calculating them to arrive at the answer. We started from that, and now look at where the human mentality has taken us to, of which now it has even given birth to artificial intelligence, of which you can ask the artificial intelligence to do anything, and people are using it to do stupid things. If there is going to be that kind of reformation for people to get to the American citizenship, it should be based upon what President Kennedy said. President Kennedy's time was the end of the colonial masters and then the beginning of our era as we continue from there. So you see, the USAID, the support was drawn to countries to receive them, not to abuse them, but to use them to fix their economies. Because at that time, that he instituted that, there were more immigrants. Then he said, upon this, I institute this USAID so that recipient countries can use it to fix their countries and create jobs and to dissuade people from migrating to America and elsewhere. Everybody can be able to live at his country of birth and work and be happy. That was the reason. But how many years have gone by of which this monetary system has been giving them, and there's nothing like accountability. That governments even have their own embassies within all these localities. So they post them just for paperwork to process people applying for visas alone. Without even going or requesting for a press interview, national interview on their TV stations, and then questioning government to account for certain monetary systems they design for them and they receive. So it's time for them to account and show, so that the people of Ghana, everybody will see what they used the money for. You see, how many of those ambassadorial positions that you have given to so many citizens of America who have been fortunate to get such privilege. None. None. Or some. So they continue doing this, and still the money goes to where they are meant for. Then the money continues to go with no proper accountability. Worst of all, they turn around and come to IMF and borrow money again. Sentencing the country back to the meant for infrastructure, and that one too, they will use it. So when you blame the poor immigrant who is just trying to migrate and survive, you see, you don't know what you are doing. It's like a double murder. Some of them also travel by the misinformation. And that sometimes America posts on television showing the best side of America to the world. It becomes an enviable place for everybody who has a dream to belong to. For everybody. And who has a dream and wouldn't like to travel to such a beautiful place where dollars are plucked from trees. Because it is only in that country that when you go to store, you see yourself physically holding the dollar, and you exchange it for something, and they give it to you, they give you change. This is wonderful. The dollar in other countries elsewhere, they worship it as a God's money. Yes, in God we trust. Don't you see? That's what they know it. God's money. Only governmental people is collected and given to them for the Americans. With your girlfriend trips and with your farm making, or I got a plot in America, I want to develop it. Or I'm investing in real estate abroad for their own private use. That's the purpose. And so when a loophole is created like this, and the recipients is designed for them to receive. Oh, they love it. They love it. And don't you see the way they play their politics? Friends. They belong to the same group. They belong to the same group of people. And once in a while they pick an intelligence somewhere to be added up. You see? Other than that, it is the same people who goes around and comes around. You see? I am very happy. I am very happy that we got somebody who cares and is even complaining. For Africans, the Africans, they rather instead of them to be happy about this man who is even letting the secret out. They hate him. You hating him for what? Why do you have to hate him? He is saying the reality. The reason why Africans we are suffering, he is pointing it out. You see? Yes, in this world, if you are rare, and everything, you want to say the right thing, people will hate you. You see? That is where he got his hate from. You see that is demonstrating, and people hate it. They hate it too much. You see? I'm not saying everything that he's doing is right. You see? It's always right. But things like this, that is the rightful thing that he is doing. If only Africans will hear him and hear the gist in whatever message is in it. You see? Forget about what is happening locally. Because he wasn't in politics. They made him to appear. You see? He wasn't he wasn't even interested in politics. Until they made him to appear. You see? Isn't it a politics of tit for tat that they are playing? Look at the way they chase him. You see, I was the only person who said it is wrong. It is wrong. The way you're targeting this man is wrong. Because he said, for the first place, he said, I think you stole this election from me. Look at a very grown man like this. And he was saying this. And you know, worst of all, the bitter part of it that most Americans and people of elsewhere don't know. People will think, oh, there is a big sum of money in it when you practice the American government. Only if you are corrupt, yes. Yes, only if you are corrupt. Yes. You think he wants to partake in this kind of dance? Why wouldn't he have taken it? Or why wouldn't he have used the powers the 4 years ago to benefit himself very, very, very well? Building Sohos, restless Sohos, anywhere across the world. You think he wanted to partake in this? I don't see so. You see? But I see a man who sacrifices 4 years working for America without taking a dime. Just imagine this upon all the insult that they casting on him. All the insult. You see?